All right, folks. Good afternoon and welcome to Robert A. Lehman Stadium on the campus of Robbinsdale Cooper High School. And we are getting set for Fargo Invaders football. First, broadcasting on our own YouTube channel. If I can get the recorder set for Matt Franco. Which it's not doing. That's awesome, as I'm trying to do other things.
Just trying to show you something.
Is it going? What's it say?
Recording not available.
Getting set for kickoff here as we try and get technical difficulties worked out.
It's not working.
I know, just a minute. Yep, we're live. You just need to go, you got to refresh that link or go back to YouTube. All right, folks, we're getting set for kickoff. Fargo Invaders are going to set to kick off this game to the Minneapolis Warriors. Looks like number 8, Leandro Dowers back to receive as Lazan Tahir kicks the ball off. Gets deep, and it is fielded by the other up man. Takes it to the 15, out to the 20, out to the 25, and taken down by Derek Alexander, Austin Petron, and others. So that's where the Minneapolis Warriors will start this game out for the first possession today. Hopefully this is working as we are on YouTube for the first time. New setup, folks, new camera angles. Of course, with that comes other difficulties. So if you are listening or watching on a Facebook Live, or excuse me, Facebook Live on YouTube, please feel free to share this link. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know you can hear us. And sit back and enjoy a good afternoon of NEFL football. A lot on the line here today as the Fargo Invaders lead the division, the Western Division of the NEFL, with a 6-1 record. They are currently in first place. The winner of this game, based on a tiebreaker, will get home field advantage in the Western Division playoffs, get that #1 seed. Handoff up the middle to number 24, Martin. Plows forward, gets a couple yards. Taken down at the 29-yard line. 6 yards on that play. Just getting underway here in New Hope, Minnesota. Minneapolis Warriors with the first possession of the day. Second and 4 for the Minneapolis Warriors on this opening drive. 2nd and 4 from about the 29. Scott takes the snap, hands off to Martin once again over the left-hand side, looking for room, bounces that to the outside. Taken out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. That's enough for a Minneapolis Warriors first down.
Just trying to show you something.
Yeah. You need to reshare that link again. I'll reshare it again. First, yes, I know. I need to reshare that link. So 1st and 10 for the Minneapolis Warriors as we're working through some technical issues here. Scott under center. I formation, 3 wide receivers, 2 right, 1 left. Handoff up the middle to Martin once again. Nowhere to go this time. Stopped and taken back. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. As I post to Facebook here. Hard to do 2 things at once. Possibly a loss of 1 on the play. Looks like no gain. Two wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Tight end on the left as Scott's in the shotgun formation with Martin next to him. Takes the snap, handoff off to the right. Martin gets across the 40 out to the 43-yard line. Gain of about 5 on that play. So I've just updated the link for those of you who are looking for it on Facebook. So third and about 5. 2 wide receivers left, 2 wide receivers right. Scott in the shotgun, along with Martin in the backfield. Scott takes a snap, looks to throw out to his right, under pressure by Gordon, throws it away. Incomplete pass, 4th down. Nice play by Jeremy Gordon getting in the backfield, applying pressure to Scott. So after moving the ball initially on their first set of downs, the Minneapolis Warriors are forced to punt by the Fargo Invaders defense. Brandon Sloan back deep to return this punt. John Ostertag out to kick this one away. Fargo trying to get good field position on their first drive of the game. Snaps back to the punter, kicks it, spiraling kick, trailing off to the right. Sloan lets it go, and it's going to bounce down just inside the 15-yard line, about the 14-yard line. So with 12:21 to go in the first quarter, score still remains 0-0, with the Fargo Invaders set to get their first possession of the game. Due to technical issues, we are not live on Ken's 89.1 Ken's FM. We want to give Ken's FM a shout out. They are our broadcasting partner. That's where we broadcast our games. 89.1 Ken's FM, in addition with the Fargo Invaders Radio and Entertainment Network. We bring you today's game for your viewing pleasure. First possession of the game, Trevor Taylor gets to start along with Brandon Jones in the backfield. 3 wide receivers left. Looks like Bounty, Irby, and Micah Arnold. Pass over to John Bounty on the left-hand side. Takes it, drags a couple Warrior players. Joshua Vaughn in on the tackle along with a couple others. Gain of about 15 yards out to John Bounty. A lot on the line here today, folks. First place in the Western Division, get a bye week heading into the playoffs, and that would force the number 3 team. The loser of today's game would play at the St. Paul Pioneers next week. Handoff up the middle to Brandon Jones, bounces it to the outside, tries to break a tackle, still on his feet, gang tackled and pushed back. Great team tackling effort there by the Warriors to stop him for no gain. 2nd and 10 for the Fargo Invaders at their own 25-yard line. And still no score, early stages of this game. As we get going and get used to this new setup, unfortunately without our guy Ken Bartz and 89.1, we'll get used to this. 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Wide receiver to the left is Nick Jackson. Taylor in the backfield with Brandon Jones. Looks to throw it. Gets the bubble screen out to Micah Arnold, who's taken down almost immediately. Gain of about 1 on that play, setting up a 3rd and 9 for the Fargo Invaders at their own 26-yard line. As a previous score update, last I checked, the St. Paul Pioneers were up 36-0 on the Minnesota Brawlers, which, based on tiebreakers, they would need the Warriors to win in a shootout today to try and get that top seed. 3 wide receivers right here, 1 to the left. Brandon Jones in the backfield, Trevor Taylor at the 26-yard line. Draw play up the middle, nowhere to go. Taken down in the backfield, loss of about 3 on that play. So that'll force a 4th down for the Invaders. 4th and about 12 or 13 here with 10:17 to go. Will force the Invaders to bring out Lazante here to punt this ball away. So just getting underway. Lazante here back at his own 10-yard line, set to kick this one away. Gets it, spiraling kick, trailing off to the right. Ball bounces, goes over the head of the return man, still rolling inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. So that will set up the Minneapolis Warriors for their 2nd possession of the afternoon. I'm going to have to tell Matt Franco that his voice recorder is not working. Once again, our sponsors today include Wild Bill's Sports Saloon in Fargo, North Dakota. Great place to get a burger and a beer after the game, or anytime for that matter. So check out Wild Bill's Sports Saloon in Fargo, North Dakota, right on 45th Street. So, 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Scott in the shotgun looks to throw it out to his right. Gets it out to number 8. Dower makes a move. Still down, still struggling forward. Finally, the whistle blows. He's taken down at about the 29-yard line. Enough for another Minneapolis Warriors first down. So 1st and 10 for the Warriors as I continue to struggle with this audio recorder. That does not seem to be working at all, which is a good start for me. 2 wide receivers left, 2 wide receivers right for the Warriors. Scott in the shotgun, or in the pistol, I should say, with Martin behind him. Snap, fakes handoff. Anthony Antonio putting pressure. There's Rochanel Jean-Baptiste also applying the pressure. Scott ducks out of bounds at just inside the 30-yard line. Should be no gain on the play. I'm joined in the booth once again by the video recorder extraordinaire, Michael Guyton. He gives his 2 fingers to say peace to everyone out there. So, 2nd and 10 for the Warriors at their own 29-yard line. 2 wide receivers left, 2 wide receivers right. Scott in the backfield, along with Martin. Hand off to Martin, heads to his right. Jean-Baptiste in pursuit, also Kenny Daniels. Gets out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. Gain of about 7 or 8 on that play, brings up a 3rd and short 2, which is good for the Warriors trying to put themselves in a position to convert these 3rd downs. You want to put yourself in 3rd and long, so they're 3rd and a very reasonable 2 yards. Two wide receivers left, 2 wide receivers right. Handoff to Martin up the middle, nowhere to go that time. Looks to be stopped short of the 1st down. So that should bring up another 4th down for the Warriors. Got a 1st down on that first play, and now 3 plays where they were unable to gain 10 yards. That'll bring 4th and short, 4th and about 1.5. They'll come out with their punt team once again. 7:20 to go and counting in the 1st quarter. 0-0 your score. Minneapolis on their 2nd possession of the day. Brandon Jones is getting set deep to return this punt at his own. He's standing inside his own 15-yard line. High snap, floats back to the kicker. Gets the kickoff, spiraling kick down to Jones. He's going to let it bounce. Jones fielded the ball inside his own 5-yard line on the hop. Tried to make something happen, tackled immediately. So that's going to set Fargo up in a very deep field position in their own end. Got the ball at the 5-yard line now to start their 2nd possession. As we change possession here, our next sponsor is Fargo Spine and Rehabilitation. If you need any assistance with your spine being rehabilitated, check out Fargo Spine and Rehabilitation. Also, check out Community Health Service Incorporated. They are a proud sponsor of the Fargo Invaders. 2nd possession of the day for the Fargo Invaders, deep in their own end at their own 5-yard line. After that excellent punt by the Warriors. Trevor Taylorson at quarterback, joined by Brett Bowney in the backfield. 2 wide receivers left and 2 wide receivers right. Takes the snap, throws out immediately. Gets the pass out to Kevin Irby. Hit in the backfield, struggles forward, and taken down right at the 5-yard line for no gain. 2nd and 10. Oh, they're going to give him a yard on that play, being somewhat generous there. So 2nd and 9 for the Fargo Invaders at their own 6-yard line. John Bowney and Kevin Irby wide left. Nick Jackson, Micah Arnold wide right. Brett Bowney in the backfield with Trevor Taylor at quarterback. Shotgun formation, looks to pass, scrambles, makes the throw, gets it to Brett Bowney, and he's catches it at about the 10 and lunges forward to about the 11-yard line. So that'll put them up at 3rd and a manageable 4 yards. Those of you just joining us, hopefully you found us on YouTube. This is a first for the Fargo Invaders today, broadcasting on their own YouTube channel, thanks to some new equipment that we have. Unfortunately, there's some kinks to be worked out. 2 wide receivers right, 2 left. Jackson, Arnold left, Irby, Bowney left, excuse me. Penalty flag on the play. Looks like we got a false start on the Fargo Invaders. Going to make this 3rd down a bit more difficult to convert. So for those of you who are trying to find us, follow the link I posted on the Fargo Invaders page and follow us over to YouTube, or follow the Fargo Invaders on YouTube, and you shall get updates about us being alive. So 3rd down for the Invaders. Same formation. Taylor looking to pass. Throws it out deep. Intended for Nick Jackson. Caught! And he's marked out of bounds. Referee took a long time to make that decision. Ran all the way out to the 30-yard line before he decided that Nick Jackson did not get both feet in bounds. So that will force the Fargo Invaders to punt. For those of you who are checking this game out, this is a rematch of a Week 2 matchup where Minneapolis traveled to Fargo in a thrilling 14-9 win for the Fargo Invaders, where the Fargo Invaders had trailed 9-0 but came back in the second half to win that game 14-9. Lazante here deep in his own end zone, getting set to kick this one off, or punt this one away. Snap back to Tahir, gets his foot into it, spiraling kick. Like it's going to be out to about the 48-yard line, is being returned there. Return man returns back the other direction, still going, and taken down inside the 40-yard line at the 39-yard line. Penalty flags on the field. We'll see what the penalty is here. As the referees confer to find out what the call is. Ball is initially marked down at about the 39-yard line. We'll wait and see who the penalty's on. Holding on the Warriors, that's going to back them up, I believe, 10 yards. And it'll be their ball, 1st and 10. Another warm game today, folks. If any of you were listening to us, the trip to Sioux City, South Sioux City, Nebraska, Michael and I had a pretty warm day in South Sioux City, Nebraska. Today is not quite that bad, but it's still awfully warm out. Temperature seems to be mid-80s. Of course, now it says it's 88 degrees, so it's awfully warm. Hopefully we'll get some cloud cover, maybe cool us off. So Scott's in pistol formation with Martin behind him. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Another kind of up back off to the left. Hands off to Martin. Tackled and brought out to about midfield. After that penalty, 1st and 10 was at the 46-yard line. Martin gains 4 out to the 50-yard line for 2nd and 6 for the Warriors. As Franco tries to tell me how to make his recorder work. So 2nd and 6 for the Warriors. You got kind of an offset eye formation for the Warriors. Scott in the pistol there. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, looking to throw the ball. Got nobody there. Still running, breaks the tackle down the sidelines. Another block into the end zone for a touchdown, Warriors. What an individual effort by Scott. rolled to his right, looking to pass. There was no one available for him to throw to. Takes off and runs with the ball. Makes a couple guys miss, gets a couple key blocks, and down the sideline he goes for a Minneapolis Warriors touchdown. Putting the Minneapolis Warriors up 6-0 with 3:29 remaining in the first quarter. So that is quite the way the Minneapolis Warriors were hoping to start this game, by scoring first, which they did in Fargo several weeks ago. Snap, set, and the kick for the extra point. And it is good. So with 3:29 remaining in the first quarter, the Minneapolis Warriors lead 7-0 over the Fargo Invaders in Northern Elite Football League action. So now, as we have another moment, talk to you about another one of our sponsors, if my iPad will cooperate, which it's not. Our next sponsor is Moorhead Massage and Wellness Center in Moorhead, Minnesota, manned by our friend, yours and mine, Matthew Franco, and his staff there. If you have any needs for a masseuse, contact Moorhead Massage and Wellness for all your needs there. Also, check out GigaGreen if you need, I'm not even sure what they provide. What does GigaGreen do? Is that Technology Corporation? They are another proud sponsor of the Fargo Invaders. Also, if you need computer repair, go to our friends at Ware Repair. That's W-A-R-E Repair, Ware Repair. Get your computers, iPads, etc. looked at and fixed by Ware Repair. All right, Minneapolis is set to kick this one off. And we have John Bowney and Brandon Jones both back deep to return this one. As John Ostertag gets ready to kick this one off. Kicks this one off, end over end kick. Brandon Jones comes up to field it. Fields it, it's in just inside his own 10. Gets out to his right, looking for a block. Still going. And taken down at about the 22, 23 yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Fargo Invaders there at their own 22 yard line. 3:22 to go, 7-0 your score. Minneapolis strikes first on a big touchdown run by Ayrton Scott. He is a 6-foot quarterback out of Augsburg University. Came to the team after their original starting quarterback, Tim Bona, went out with a concussion issue in the previous matchup with the Fargo Invaders. And then after one game with having a third-string quarterback play, Scott came in, has been leading the team since, and they have been on a, I believe, 6-game winning streak right now. Telefaro in at quarterback for the Invaders, looks to pass, throws it out deep for Irby, and it's picked off. Picked off and taken down out of bounds by Dave Connors. A little bit of a miscommunication between Irby and Telefaro on that one. Telefaro threw it out there for Irby. Irby didn't get his head around in time. Looked as though the DB was sitting back there ready to go and to pick that one off. Dave Connors was ready there to jump up, make that play. Lost his balance and it went down out of bounds on his own. Actually, I would say he bumped into Kevin Irby, and that made him lose his balance. So he was down there. Otherwise, there was a lot of green in front of him, folks. Dave Connors out of Southwest Minnesota State. A Mustang in the house. Scott in the backfield now with Martin, and then another running back set offset to the right. 2 wide receivers left. Hand off to Martin, running to the right. Switches field. Still on his feet. Stays up, but ends up losing a couple extra yards. Jameis Neal and Sonny Don in the backfield to make that play. Initial pressure applied by Jeremy Gordon. So that moves the Warriors backwards. Although they're marking him down at the 46-yard line. It looked as though he had lost more yardage than that. So 2 wide receivers left, 2 wide receivers right. Scott in the backfield with Martin. Tyrell Martin is their starting running back, their leading rusher. Looks to pass, throws out to his right. Caught. Mike Ford, it still breaks another tackle. Mike Ford tried to make the tackle and then strip it. Rochanel John Baptiste was there trying to make the tackle. He got scooted away from him as well. First down for the Warriors inside the 30 down to the 26-yard line. Minneapolis getting something going here, moving the ball nicely. So 1st and 10, 150 and counting remaining in the first quarter. Minneapolis Warriors with the lead now. Looked to be about a 55-yard touchdown run by Scott previously to put him on the board. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right, I formation. Scott under center, toss play. Looks like the backup running back there, number 34, breaking tackles, and he's gone. 5 touchdown, somersaults into the end zone. That's number 34, Riza Muhammad, running back out of University of North Dakota. So with that, the Minneapolis Warriors take a big 13-0 lead here in the first quarter. Minute 24 to go. Your score 13-0. A couple of big plays now. Not some very good tackling going on right here in the first half for the Invaders. High snap on the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 1:24 to go in the first quarter, Minneapolis Warriors lead the Fargo Invaders 14-0 on about a 35-yard touchdown run by Riza Muhammad out of the University of North Dakota. As I try and watch on YouTube to see some of those plays again. I guess that would have been about a 25-yard touchdown run. So the rushing attack really working well for the Warriors right now. It was a toss play, simple toss play to the right. Two broken tackles on that play. No one else was there. Muhammad was followed in the end zone by 2 of his linemen. So that puts the Warriors in a very comfortable position right now, leading 14-0 early in this game. So we'll see if the Fargo Invaders can respond now after being down 2 scores early in this game. Plenty of time left in this game for the Invaders to get something going to come back in this one. But they're going to have to start by putting their first drive together of the day. A bad return on a punt, and then the interception has put the Invaders a little bit of in a hole here early in this game. So as we're set to kick this one away, don't forget to check out our friends at Sloan Athletics. Train to be the best you can be with Sloan Athletics. Ostertag set to kick this one off. No, actually got a new kicker out there this time. Kick taken out inside the 10-yard line by Brandon Jones. Makes a move out to the 20. Still on his feet, cuts back. Hit hard at the 30-yard line, driven back. Looks like they'll spot him at about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. So Fargo's next possession, this should be their 4th possession of the day. They start at their own 24-yard line. Or is that the 29, excuse me. A lot depends on this matchup today. Minneapolis wins today. They take the West Division. They will host a playoff game, which would be the winner of Fargo and St. Paul. So a lot to play for both teams. The Invaders now need to try and get a drive going to get back in this game, give them a chance to try and win something. Handoff left side to Brett Bowney, making guys miss. Still struggling, getting taken backward. 7 guys taking him down. Penalty flag on the ground. Might call unnecessary roughness after the play. Looked like they had him for a loss of about 7. So that would be after the play, would mark off, I believe, 10, maybe 15 yards. I'm fuzzy on my math here. So they called a personal foul. It should be a 15-yarder. So I'll give the Invaders a first down. Out to their own 37-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Invaders. Trailing's 14-0 right now in the first quarter. 1 minute, 1 second left to go in the game. Looks like number 76 for the Warriors, Willie Howard, pleading his case to the referee on that play. To no avail. So 1st and 10 from their own 37. Irby and Bounty wide left. Arnold and Jackson wide right. Brett Bounty in the backfield with Telefaro. Looks to throw. Tries to throw it out there. Completes it over the middle to John Bounty. He's taken down, spun around and down at about the 44-yard line of the Minneapolis Warriors. Nice pitch and catch there from Telefaro to John Bounty. First down for the Invaders. Need a few more of those to get back in this game, get the momentum back on their side. A nice drive that chews up a little bit of clock too would be beneficial for the team, just to give the defense a bit of a rest after those last couple drives, which have resulted in touchdowns for the Warriors. This will be the last play of the first quarter. Bunch formation, tight end and 2 wide receivers left, tight end to the right. Fakes the handoff to Brett Bounty, throws it deep. Jay Greenhill out too far in front of Jay Greenhill, pass incomplete. And that is the end of the first quarter. Your score after 1 quarter here at Barbara A. Lehman Stadium. Score is Minneapolis Warriors 14, Fargo Invaders nothing. And you are listening to Fargo Invaders football on the Fargo Invaders Radio and Entertainment Network on YouTube. Let's see, who else do we have for sponsors today? Our friends at Tailgate Masters, tailgatemaster.com. If you need tips and tricks regarding your grilling game, up it by going to tailgatemaster.com. You can find recipes. You can also, I'm sure, purchase his special seasonings and rubs by our friend Scott, the Admiral, Big Gun. So go to tailgatemaster.com and get your tips and tricks for your grilling and up your tailgating game to levels unknown. Also be sure to, if you need a new checking account, new loan, whatever you need, go to Bell State Bank and Trust in Fargo, North Dakota. Hometown bank with hometown people taking care of you. Make sure you go to Bell State Bank for all your checking, savings, and loan needs. All right. So unfortunately, also our stats man, our boss, President Matt Pesnick, is unavailable. He is enjoying the good life on vacation. So unfortunately, he's not here, so I do not have stats in front of me, nor do we have any, I believe, on the Northern Elite Football League page. So we were kind of flying blind today. So 2nd and 10 for the Invaders at the Minneapolis Warriors 44-yard line after incomplete pass last play. Running back behind Telefaro. Reverse play, throws out to Greenhill, looking for some blocks down the sidelines. Pushed out of bounds. He is taken out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. It should be a gain of about 5 on the play. Faked the handoff to Brett Bounty out of the backfield. Jay Greenhill came around on that reversing type of motion and took the pitch and got out wide to the left-hand side for about a 5-yard gain on that play. So that puts us at 3rd and 5 from the Minneapolis Warriors 39-yard line. With 14:40 to go, Invaders trail 14-0 right now. Greenhill and Arnold are out wide right. Bounty behind Telefaro in the pistol, 2 tight ends. Fakes the handoff to Brett Bowney, throws it back to John Bowney, gets a block from Nate Ruby, looking down to make his way down the field. He's inside the 30-yard line, out of the 29-yard line for a first Fargo Invaders first down. So Fargo putting a little bit of a drive together here to try and get back into this game. As we are live streaming on YouTube with our new setup. Robin, I'm with the band Rhodey working the camera down in front of us. Confined quarters today up here. Michael and I are becoming close friends, or friends that are close, one of the two. First and 10 for the Invaders, 2 wide receivers left and 2 wide receivers right. Handoff off to the left to Brett Bowney. Gets to the outside and taken down at about the 25-yard line. Gain of about 4 on that play. Just a quick handoff from Telefaro to Brett Bowney, who did the rest. Followed his blocks out to the left and got about 4. Maybe it's 3. Either way, second down. Second down for the Invaders at the 26-yard line of the Minneapolis Warriors. Trailing 14-0 here, 13 minutes and 6 seconds and counting. Another tight formation, 2 wide receivers left and right, all bunched in at the line of scrimmage. Penalty flag on the play. Calling a false start on the Fargo Invaders. Not sure which side of the line or which person moved, but that'll back up the Invaders 5 yards to make second down a bit more difficult. Should be about 2nd and 12 now. So 2nd and 12 from the 31-yard line. Invaders trail 14-0. As we're into the second quarter here in New Hope, Minnesota. Nick Jackson in at tight end on the right. John Bowney, Jay Greenhill, Micah Arnold, all bunch formation to the left, and Brett Bowney behind Justin Telefaro. Telefaro takes the snap, fakes it to Brett Bowney, looks to pass. Wide open is Micah Arnold, and he is out of bounds. Got that, looked like he got that first foot down, couldn't get the second foot down. That would have been a nice play. That would have been putting the team in position to have an easier third down. So now it'll be 3rd and 12 from their own, or from the Minneapolis Warriors 31-yard line. The Invaders getting a little bit of things going here in the second quarter now. 12-19 and counting. 2 wide receivers right, 2 wide receivers left. Brett Bowney in the backfield along with Justin Telefaro. Looking over the defense. Looks like Telefaro might be audibling here, talking to the wide receivers. Takes the snap. Throws it over the middle to John Bowney. Snatches it right out of the air. Breaks some tackles. Still going. Plowing forward to the 25-yard line. Not enough for a first down, so it'll be 4th down at the 25-yard line. 4th and about 6 or 7. This is that range. You're just on the very cusp of Lazan Tahir's field goal range, so offense is going to stay on the field here to try and pick up this first down. They've at least held the ball now for some time to give the defense a bit of a break to kind of catch their breath and regroup as the crowd starts to get a little bit louder here for this 4th down. So we got a tight formation, tight end and wide receiver on each side in close to the line of scrimmage, and Brett Bowney in the backfield with Justin Telefaro. Fakes the handoff to Brett Bowney. Telefaro looks to run. Gets hit as he's trying to throw the ball. The ball is picked off out of the air. He's down the sideline. Brett Bowney tackles him down, fumbles the ball. Ball is still loose. Picked up this time by number 22 from the Minneapolis Warriors, Ramon McNuckles. Brett Bowney chases down number 96. That's Spencer Harris. As he was rumbling towards the end zone, he had gotten a hand on Telefaro's arm, forced the ball loose, and it went right into his hands, and he takes off running down the field trying to make a play. Brett Bowney catches up, knocks the ball out of his hands, but unfortunately for the Invaders, McNuckles is right there to grab that ball and continue on to the end zone. So with 11:02 to go in the first half, the Minneapolis Warriors are out to a commanding 20-0 lead here somewhat early in the second quarter. Invaders putting themselves in a very difficult position after finally getting some things going on the offensive side of the ball. Another turnover on a 4th down play ends up costing the Invaders. So Ostertag out to kick this extra point again. Here's the snap, the set, and the kick. And it is good. So with 11:02 to go in the second quarter, the Minneapolis Warriors lead the Fargo Invaders 21-0. Shades kind of reminiscent of that game down in St. Paul against the Pioneers, where the Invaders got out to a substantial deficit, getting down 27-0 before coming back and making a game of it. So now here we are in a similar situation again, trailing early in the second quarter, 21-0. All right, another sponsor obviously is Ken's FM 89.1. They have local music, live rock, modern rock, excuse me. It's KNNZ FM 89.1 on your FM dial in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Check out Ken and his Modern Rock Live on Saturday nights, I believe. Obviously, they are a broadcast partner of the Fargo Invaders and our normal home to our broadcast games. Also, check out the Freedom Equity Group. I would believe that's probably mortgages and loans and everything else, financial planning for your future. So as we get set to kick this one off again, I'm not sure if it was Muhammad, possibly. I don't think Tyrell Martin was kicking off last time, but they did not have Ostertag out there to kick it one way. The other kicker is out there, which is, once he starts running, I'll be able to tell you who is actually kicking it. All right. It's a delay of game penalty? What is it called? Looks like 27 is out there kicking off. That's Ricky Clifton. I don't know if Ostertag has an injury of any sort. He seems to be out there kicking the extra points, but kickoffs, Clifton is kicking off. So 5-yard penalty on the Warriors for, I thought it was a delay of game signal. Clifton's getting set to kick this one off again. Jones and Bounty back deep to kick this, or to receive this one. End over end kick. It's going to be taken by John Bounty, taking it about inside the 25-yard line. Tries to make a move, but he's taken down right away by, it looks like, number 80. That is Shane Biggs, wide receiver for the Warriors, unless he gets closer, and it's 86. No, it's 88. I'm sorry. Lakeem Johnson, wide receiver out of Augsburg University. So 1st and 10 once again for the Fargo Invaders, trailing 21-0 here in the second quarter. 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. Got to get something going here. They want to have a chance today. We can update the Northern Elite football scoreboard if I didn't have to continue checking in to their free Wi-Fi. Pass out intended for John Bounty. Penalty flag, trying to go for the ball. Prevented by Ramon McNuckles there. Going to call pass interference on that one. That'll be an automatic 1st down for the Fargo Invaders. So final score from St. Paul today. The Minnesota Brawlers go down in defeat to the St. Paul Pioneers 60-0. So the Pioneers are going to be ready for next week. They put up 60 points. They didn't give up any, so if there's a Fargo Invaders comeback, that could affect the tiebreaker on who gets home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Trevor Taylor back in the backfield, Brett Bounty and Brandon Jones on each side of him. Handoff to, that's Derek Alexander. Cuts back to his right. Big hole over the middle. Still chugging along. Derek's still going. Hit, and the ball's loose. Only people back there are Minneapolis Warriors. And he is down at the 15-yard line. A great run by Derek Alexander. However, as he was gang tackled, they punched the ball loose. Another turnover on the Invaders. So after a nice run by Derek Alexander, who took a step to his left, broke it out to the right. Gain of a huge gain on the play after that pass interference penalty. So now that sets up the Minneapolis Warriors for the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 15 with 10:41 to go, with the Invaders trailing 21-0 currently. So the game not going the Invaders' way today. Everything falling in the way of the Minneapolis Warriors, winning the turnover battle, getting the running game going, getting some big plays on offense and defense. Scott under center, I formation, 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Handoff up the middle to Martin. Taken down by Jean-Baptiste, Anthony Antonio, and Chris Nixon. Looks like a gain of 1, possibly 2 on the play. As I watched the replay, Alexander was being taken down by 1 player. The other player came up from behind and punched that ball loose. Alexander was only able to keep 1 arm on that ball as he was fighting to fall forward at about the 25-yard line when the other player punched that ball out. So great defensive play by the Minneapolis Warriors there to knock that ball loose and come up with another turnover. So we know they have the 1 interception. The other one will probably go down as an interception because the ball came loose. I don't know if that'll be considered a fumble or an interception. And then a fumble recovery now. So 3 turnovers for the Invaders in the first half. Another handoff to Martin. Big hole. Gets to the outside. Trying to be forced out of bounds. Good block downfield by Marcus Foster. Had Josh Gatlin tied up, who cannot come up and make the tackle on that one. Big play on that run all the way out to the 39-yard line for another Minneapolis Warriors first down. So 1st and 10 for the Warriors at the 39-yard line. 9:21 and counting remaining in the first quarter. 21-0 your score. Scott under center. I formation behind him. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. 80 goes in motion into the slot position. Handoff. They're back up. Cornelius Wallow and Jameis Neal on the tackle in the backfield. Nowhere to go that time. That was the backup running back, Riza Muhammad. Or is it Mahmoud? My bad. Mahmoud had the earlier touchdown run after some broken tackles in the first quarter. So loss of about 4, maybe 5 on that play. So 2nd and 15. Two wide receivers coming out right, 2 wide receivers left. Scott in the pistol formation with the running back behind him. Looks over the defense. Penalty flag. We'll see if it's on the defense or on the offense. False start on the offense. Going to back them up another 5 yards. That'll put them at about 2nd and about 19. See a gentleman walking in with a St. Paul Pioneer shirt. I'm sure they're coming over to see who they're playing next weekend. Possibly in St. Paul, or if Fargo Invaders make a comeback, it could possibly be home field advantage for them. But they would need the Invaders to start scoring some points now, since the tiebreaker is points against. The Pioneers trailed the Warriors by about 16 points, I believe. Shotgun formation for Martin. Handoff to Martin. Excuse me, that's Scott. Handoff to Martin. Stopped and taken back by Chris Nixon. Says no. Stopped at about the 31-yard line. Brings up 3rd down. So we're at third down and about 15, 49, nope, 3rd down and about 18. Passing situation for Scott and the Warriors. Two wide receivers heading out right. Looks like Dower and Biggs off to the right. Pistol formation once again with Martin behind Scott. Two wide receivers to the left. I can't quite see their numbers from here. Scott looks to pass. Looks to throw it out to his right. Throws out to his right. Over the middle. Knocked down. Nice play by Josh Gatling. He saw where he was going with that pass. He got out there, got his hand up, knocked it down. Brings it 4th and long for the Warriors, and they'll send out the punt team with John Ostertag set to kick this one away. So 6:58 to go in the first half. Minneapolis all over the Fargo Invaders currently, 21-0. Ostertag set to kick this one away. Josh Gatling back deep to return this punt. Snap, bounces in front of the kicker, can't get it away, ball's loose. Joe Yeager picks it up, takes off, dives for the end zone. They're marking him down at the 1-yard line, almost a defensive score for the Fargo Invaders. Bad snap on that punt. Ostertag kind of bobbled it, came down to the ground, tried to pick it up and get the kickoff, but it was too late. Gets hit. Joe Yeager was there, man on the spot.
Say he can't hear you.
Who can't hear me? Ball came loose. He picks it up, returns it to the 1-yard line. You can see that we're putting on area. So 1st and goal for the Fargo Invaders, trying to get on the board here in the first half. Handoff to Brett Bowney, plunges over the right-hand side, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Fargo, you betcha. 21-6 with 6:49 to go in the first quarter. Fargo gets on the board after a big turnover on that 4th down on that punt. So 6:49 to go, 21-6 your score. Lazan Tahir is going to come out and attempt this extra point to make it 21-7. Just a 1-yard just plunge over the right-hand side of that offensive line for the Invaders to put it 21-7. 6:49 to go. Telefaro to hold, snap, set, and the kick. Blocked. So the extra point is no good, so the score remains 21-6. 6:49 to go here in the first half. Fargo's on the board finally. Unable to convert that extra point, so the score remains 21-6 here in New Hope, Minnesota at Barbara A. Lehman Stadium.
First half. Visiting www.infusionfitnessmn.com for more information.
All right, as we're still checking over technical difficulties as always. New setup, not quite used to how everything works. We are still trying to make things work, trying to keep informed of whether or not you guys can hear me out there. Hopefully you can. Hopefully you're enjoying this game, even though it's been all Minneapolis until that last possession. So the Invaders with the big play on defense, making something happen, getting the turnover on that punt and returning it all the way to the 1-yard line. Next play, Brett Bowney plunges into the end zone and make it 21-6. So 6:49 to go. Tahir set to kick this one off deep. Gets his foot into this one and well, spiraling kind of sideways kick, bounces. Return man Mahmoud takes it at inside his 5, runs it out to his right, breaking tackles. Gets out to about the 25-yard line where the Warriors will start their next possession. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. All right, just so you know, as those people that listened last week, my dad is always listening and watching. He says he can hear us just fine. So that's good news for me because Robin could not hear the audio coming through my computer, which always makes me a little bit nervous. As I said before, this is a first. We're broadcasting live over the Fargo Invaders YouTube channel. So unfortunately, with no phone connection today to contact 89.1 Ken's FM, we're kind of flying blind as far as the breaks go. So bear with us and just enjoy the play-by-play on this game. 1st and 10 now for the Warriors. Handoff to the right. Mahmoud, or is that Martin, I believe, taking the ball. Still going. Invaders trying to get in there and strip that ball out rather than making the tackle. So he's still going, plunges forward, gets out to about the 31-yard line. Gain of about 6 on that play. So 2nd and 4, 6:20 and counting remaining in the first half. The Minneapolis Warriors lead 21-0 over the Fargo Invaders. So we get set for this 2nd down and 4 play for the Warriors. Invaders defense trying to make another stop here to get the ball back, give their offense a chance to get the ball and get back into this game. Handoff up the middle. Stopped initially by, looks like Casey. Oh, Casey, what is his last name? Yulski? I forget how he pronounces his last name. Ilovsky, sorry. Casey Ilovsky originally got in the backfield. The other Fargo Invaders were right there to help tackle him, so minimal gain on that play, maybe a gain of about 1. Brings up 3rd and about 4. Another big play now for the Fargo Invaders needed to get the ball back here, get one more possession before halftime. 2 wide receivers left, stacked. 2 wide receivers right, back in the backfield along with Scott. Looks over the defense, takes a step, looks to throw, getting pressure, throws it out, and is hit immediately by Brandon Sloan, but that is enough. Oh, excuse me, that's Stephen Othello, I believe. It's enough for a Minneapolis Warriors 1st down at their own 43-yard line. Scott is very elusive there in the backfield. I had been told prior to the game he's tried out a couple different times for making a team in the CFL. He has unfortunately not been able to make a team up there, so when the Warriors had been contacting him about potentially playing for them, he was obviously available. And then he actually ended up being available this year, and then they had a quarterback go down, so he jumped in right away. 2 wide receivers left, 1 right. Back next to Scott in the backfield, tailback behind him. Handoff to Mahmoud out to the right, tries to bounce it outside under pressure. He's running backwards. Nowhere to go, forced out of bounds. They'll mark him out of bounds at about the 30, where are we marking him at, folks? 38? Excuse me, the 42. I'm sorry, I got my wrong side of the line. 42-yard line, so no gain on the play, 2nd down. Mahmoud is a shifty little running back there that is able to get those guys to miss and then bounce to the outside, but he's shown some power today. We were able to break those tackles early in the 1st quarter and get that big touchdown run for the Warriors. So 2 wide receivers right, 2 wide receivers left. Looks like Martin in the backfield with Scott. Scott takes the snap, looks to throw out to the left, throws it deep. Mike Ford is there. Picked off by Omar Sloan. Unfortunately, comes down out of bounds. Penalty flag on the play for Sloan, I think, throwing the ball after the play. Ended up throwing the ball out of bounds, and that will give the Warriors another 1st down instead of bringing up 3rd down. Delay of game penalty. Oh, okay. So they didn't call unsportsmanlike contact. They called delay of game, so it's only a 5-yard penalty. It is still 3rd down, but it makes it 3rd and 5 rather than 3rd and 10. So still a chance for Fargo to get off the field after this play, hopefully. Ball marked at the 47-yard line of the Warriors. So they get set for this third down. 3:35 on the clock, 21-6 your score. Minneapolis trying to get another drive here before halftime and extend this lead. Invaders desperately trying to get the ball back and get back in the game. First half dominated by big plays on both sides of the ball. 2 wide receivers left, 1 right. Staggered I formation kind of behind Scott. Handoff up to Martin. Stops it for a 2-yard gain out to the 49-yard line, where it'll be 4th down and 5. So it looks like they should send out the punting team, although I don't see the kicker yet. Different punter in the game right now. Is that number 16 out there, Michael? Can you tell? For the punter. Different kicker in this play. We'll wait and see if the Warriors still kick this one away. High snap, floats back to the kicker. Bad kick, gets a hand on it. Ball rolls down inside the 30 and comes to a stop at about the 26.5. I'll mark it at the 27. So 1st and 10 for the Fargo Invaders with 2:42 remaining in the half. Try to get something going before halftime. 2:42 to go. Got the ball at their own 26-yard line. The Invaders have had a couple drives where they've been able to make some things happen, but then the turnovers unfortunately brought things to a screeching halt. 3 turnovers on the day for the Invaders. Warriors only have 1. 21-6 your score. 2:42 to go from Barbara A. Lehman Stadium. Fargo Invaders trying to make something happen right before halftime. Telefaro in at quarterback, 2 wide receivers left, 2 wide receivers right. Irby and Jackson right, Bounty and Greenhill left. Brandon Jones the back in the backfield. Telefaro was calling out an audible at the line of scrimmage. No safety help deep right now in this current lineup for the Warriors. And drop back into pass coverage. Brandon Jones gets the handoff, darts up the middle. Nowhere to go there, really. Gain of about 3 on that play. Short gain, clock running, 2:23 and counting, 21-6 your score. Invaders trying to go no huddle a little bit here. Telefaro takes the snap, looks to throw it out. Gets it out to Nick Jackson, catch at 36, makes a move down to the 40, down to the 44-yard line. 1st down for the Fargo Invaders. Clock running, it looks like that'll take us to the 2-minute warning here in New Hope, Minnesota. And that is definitely it. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Your score, Minneapolis Warriors 21, Fargo Invaders 6. You're listening to the Fargo Invaders Radio Network. Radio and Entertainment Network. Got to get that E in there. So let's see who we have also for sponsors that I can mention, if the iPad would cooperate. Meats by John and Wayne, located just off of 45th Street, off of the interstate as well. Meats by John and Wayne is a proud sponsor of the Fargo Invaders. Also, check out the Fargo North of Normal. I believe that might be the Fargo Entertainment, or what do you call that? Visitors Bureau. Come to Fargo, North Dakota and hang out. See the Fargo Theater and do other things in Fargo that we do. Obviously, also look out for the Minn-Dakota Coaches. They're the official bus line of the Fargo Invaders. They take us to each of our away games. So if you need to rent a large passenger bus to take your group somewhere, check out Minn-Dakota Coaches. 2 wide receivers right, 2 wide receivers left. Brandon Jones in the backfield along with Telefaro. Finish up this first half, under 2 minutes to go. Blitz coming, Telefaro tucks it down. Nowhere to go, ends up taking the sack. Taken down by, looks like Spencer Harris. Spencer Harris and it looked like Kirk Eggleston. Sack on that play, loss of about 10. Justin Telefaro trying to make something happen. Wasn't able to see anything, had to try and tuck it. Tried to roll out to his left, but there was nowhere to go, too much pressure. So we got 3 wide receivers left now, 1 to the right. 1:19 and counting to go. Telefaro takes the snap, looks to throw, throws it out deep. It's picked off down the sidelines, taken out of bounds by Jay Greenhill. Telefaro looking for John Bounty that time. Unfortunately, he did not get enough air under the ball. Kind of threw a dart, picked off by the defense. That's the 4th Fargo Invaders turnover of this half. So the Warriors get the ball back with 1 minute, 10 seconds to go in the first half. Up to the defense here to hold the Warriors without a score so that they can remain within 2 scores to try and be able to get back into this game. All-important game for both teams, battle for first place. So Scott leads the offense out for the Warriors. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right, 2 backs in the backfield along with him, going out of the I formation. See what the Warriors try to do with their offense. They try and throw it up, or they just try and run it. Play action pass. Scott looks to throw it deep. Gatling is there. And its pass is complete, and they're marking him down at the 2-yard line. Josh Gatling looking for the pass interference there. Everybody stopped. Gatling thought there should have been a penalty on the play. No call. Wide receiver went up, made the catch, and managed to come down with it. Dove for the end zone. Dove and tried to reach his hand out. Knocked that pylon over. Unfortunately, it looked like the referee marked him out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So 1st and goal for the Warriors here. 1 minute, 1 second to go in the first half. So I formation for Scott and the Warriors at the 2-yard line. Scott takes the snap, hands the ball off to Martin. Hitting the backfield, still plunging forward, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown. That puts the Warriors up 27-6 right before half. So an unfortunate series of events there for the Invaders. 21-6. An errant pass picked off, and then a big pass play for the Warriors there. That pass was caught by Marcus Foster, I believe. Although it could have been Fleming or King, depending on who. Could have been Derek Fleming if it's 18. So Ostertag out for the extra point. Kick is up. And is good. So with 55.3 seconds to go in the first half, score is now 28-6 Minneapolis. Getting some extra insurance there as more of the St. Paul Pioneers come over to check this game out to see who their opponent will be next weekend. All signs in this first half, unfortunately, point to the Minneapolis Warriors. So 55.3 seconds to go. The Invaders will get one more chance with the ball before halftime. Eerily similar situation to the trip down to Minneapolis earlier in the year, where it was 27-0. The Invaders got a touchdown to get it to 27-7, then they gave up a big pass play to go down 34-7 in Minneapolis. Similar situation where it was 21-6 here. Interception, big play, and then touchdown for the Warriors to put them up 28-6. So one more possession probably for the Invaders before halftime, trailing 28-6. We'll see if they can do anything on the offensive side of the ball right before halftime. So we have, it looks like Ricky Clifton back to kick this one off again. Jones and John Bowney back deep to return this kick, as hopefully we get a few more clouds to roll in and relieve some of the heat. 88 degrees down here in New Hope, Minnesota today. Clifton set to kick it off. Kicks it deep, going to be fielded by Brandon Jones at his 15-yard line, looking for some blocks. Bumps into one of his own men, hit and hit hard, driven back. Mark his forward progress down at about the 27-yard line. So 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line for the Fargo Invaders here at the end of this first half. 43.1 seconds to go. We'll wait and see what the Invaders have up their sleeve to end this first half. Try and get a big play before halftime, get some points on the board again. Their only score so far today was a Brett Bowney touchdown run of about 1 yard after a botched punt and return by Joey Eggert. John Bowney goes wide right. Nick Jackson and and Micah Arnold wide to the left. Brett Bowney and Brandon Jones in the backfield along with Trevor Taylor. Trevor Taylor hands the ball off to Brandon Jones, nowhere to go. Clock running. My guess is the Invaders will run one more play and let that clock run out, if they just don't let it run out already. Two wide receivers right, one to the left. Jones and Bowney in the backfield with Taylor again. Snap, hand off to Brandon Jones again, hitting the backfield once again. Clock is going to run out here in the first half. And that's halftime, folks. Your halftime score, the Minneapolis Warriors 28, your Fargo Invaders 6. You're listening to Fargo Invaders football on the Fargo Invaders Radio and Entertainment Network. We are going to leave the camera zoomed in on the scoreboard so you can count down the time until second half starts. And I'll hopefully put this on audio on mute, and then that way we won't lose our connection, and we'll be back for the second half. Once again, 28-6, your score, as you want to possibly see me. 28-6, your score here at halftime. Fargo Invaders trail the Minneapolis Warriors in a battle for first place in the Western Division of the NEFL. Winner is going to hopefully get home field advantage unless there's more points scored by the Invaders, potentially in a loss. Since the St. Paul Pioneers did win today 60-0 against the Minnesota Brawlers, so they've solidified their spot, and we'll have to wait and see how this game plays out. Game's not over yet, still one half of football to play. 28-6 your score. Be back in about 14 minutes with the second half kickoff.
You know, really weird dynamic is if we're like up a certain amount of points, why would you guys score any more points? You know, at some point in time, like, because then you'll host the Pioneers. We're not going to host the Pioneers. If you guys lose, but
they gave up 0 points.
Gotcha.
They had to give up at least like 20 points.
Okay.
I understand. I'm new to the league and whatnot,
that's right.
But I don't particularly care for the tie break.
Yeah, neither do I.
It should be some sort of like, we'll say you guys, us, and the Pioneers are all tied in a three-way tie.
Yep.
It should be kind of a combined point differential between the three of us.
I agree, yeah.
But since it's straight up like that, I mean, we knew a couple weeks ago that basically they had to win out to win the thing because they weren't going to win a tie
That's
break.
right. So that's right. So if you guys score 15 points or more, you guys come back.
Well, you guys had 52 points again. They had 68 after we did. So it's 16. So we had to score like 20% off.
That's right.
So all I do is go like that. It depends on especially in the first half.
Did they bench their team, or did you
No,
guys?
they're
Oh, okay, okay. I think 13 is their total.
he can be sometimes makes questions rude.
Yeah.
He sometimes that trying to get him.
Yeah.
Taylor has been playing. He got
Yeah.
Minnesota, and even last week he played a lot more than he has been at.
Yeah, because we were more nervous about him.
Well, when he that one play, Alfaro, he tried to run up in the pocket and run with him, and then he goes forward, and I'm just watching him right in your line of his hand. So I don't know if that'll be marked a fumble or a
Yeah, I'm not sure. We do have a swipe reader, I believe. Yeah, what, we're also on, what side do you like? I believe we have
All right, folks, getting ready here for the second half. Unfortunately, today we do not have stats available here at halftime. However, the game has largely been dominated by the Minneapolis Warriors, who lead 28-6 heading into the second half. I believe the Fargo Invaders had won the toss and should be able to receive this second half kick to start things off. Unfortunately, they gave up another touchdown before halftime and are down 28-6 as opposed to 21-6. So we'll wait and see what this second half brings. A lot of time left, a lot can change. As we get our camera ready to go. And hopefully you are able to watch this game on our YouTube channel. This is a production of the Fargo Invaders Radio and Entertainment Network in conjunction with 89.1 Ken's FM, who unfortunately, due to technical issues, we're not able to be on live on the radio in Fargo right now. So hopefully you're able to find us here on YouTube and get a chance to watch. As you can see myself here in the booth, getting ready for the second half as the clock ticks down to 0. 15 minutes on the board for third quarter here in the last week of the regular season from the NFL. And as I double check to make sure we were quiet at halftime, which we might not have been. So all the jokes made about your mother were just in good fun, folks. We didn't mean anything by it. All right. Earlier today, the St. Paul Pioneers handled their business on their end and beat the Minnesota Brawlers 60-0 in St. Paul today. Setting up tiebreaker situations here if the score remains as it is. Basically, the tiebreaker in this league is points against. Going into today, the Pioneers had given up 68 points, I believe, where the Warriors had given up 52. So the Warriors have given up 6 points today. That puts them at 58. So that would be 68 and 58, so that's a 10-point difference. So the St. Paul Pioneers need the Fargo Invaders to score a couple more touchdowns to try and secure that #1 overall seed. Fargo is fighting this second half to get back into the game and try and come back and win this one, which if they were to win this one, there would be no tiebreaker. They would win the division outright. And the Minneapolis Warriors would fall to the #3 seed, and the St. Paul Pioneers would be the #2 seed and host the Minneapolis Warriors based on record. So we'll wait and see how the second half plays out. Minneapolis is in a very good situation right now. So we'll wait and see how things go. Brandon Jones and John Bowney back deep to return this kick. Let's see who they have kicking off this time, if it is still Ricky Clifton or if it's someone else. And now I got the voice recorder working for our beloved Matthew Franco from Moorhead Massage and Wellness, also our video multimedia director. So Clifton looks to be the one kicking off once again. Strides into this kick, gets his kickoff, good kick this time. Down deep, taken by John Bowney at his 10-yard line. Runs out to his right, looking for some blocks, gets a block, gets to the outside, and taken down by, looks like number 11, Swanigan. Taken down, penalty flag on the ground. Out to the 32-yard line, it looks like they have it marked. I don't know what the penalty flag is for. As the referees confer. No penalty on that play after all. I guess someone just wanted to show off that they had a yellow hanky. Which, you know, if there's a nice hanky, you might want to show everybody, so that's nice. So 1st and 10, 14:52 to go in the third quarter. Fargo Invaders start this second half with the ball in their possession at their own 32-yard line. Need to get some drives going on offense now, some sustainable drives that also result in points. Trevor Taylor hands it off to Brett Bowney. Gets to the outside, makes a man miss, breaks the tackle, running forward, falls forward out to the 41-yard line. Referee spots it at the 40. Gain of about 8 on that play. So good run to start things off. It looked like he could have broke that one for even more, but taken down by Swanigan. Delector Swanigan. At least that's who I have listed as number 11. John Bowney wide right. Irby and Jackson wide left. Another handoff to Brett Bowney. Tries to get to the outside, turn the corner. Number 56 gets a hold of that jersey, spins him around. That's Tony O'Neill. Spins him around, stops his forward momentum. Did get a, looks like he maybe got marked for a yard gain on that. So that puts it at 3rd and 1, I believe. Sticks still say 2nd down. So Jackson and Arnold go wide left. John Bowney wide right. I guess nobody wants to see my tummy according to Facebook, so we'll take that off of there. Handoff to Brandon Jones. Gets grabbed by the jersey, tackled in the backfield. Loss on the play. That brings up 4th down for the Invaders. Tried to get that one going to the outside. Unfortunately for Brandon, they were able to grab the back of that jersey, hold him up until help arrived. What started off with a good 8-9 yard run on that first play ends with 2 runs for no gain. Actually a loss on that last play. 4th and about 5. 13-14 and counting. 28-6. Your score, Minneapolis leads Fargo. Kick by Tahir, hits, takes a Warriors bounce out of bounds. They'll mark it outside the 20, probably the 23, 24 yard line. Marking at the 22 yard line. So, first possession, I'm sorry, looks to be a penalty on the play. Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty against the Warriors. That's enough yardage for a 1st down for the Invaders. So Invaders get a little bit of luck there on that 4th down. Able to get a 1st down via penalty. So 1st down and 10 for the Invaders. Now with the ball out to their 42-yard line. Always hard to tell on the angle up here in the booth. 2 backs in the backfield with Taylor. 2 wide receivers left, 1 right. Snap. Taylor looks to throw. Gets out. Pass is bobbled in, but caught by Nick Jackson. And as he falls down with the ball, that's about a 12-yard gain and a 1st down to the Minneapolis Warriors' 46-yard line. So 1st and 10 again for the Fargo Invaders, who desperately need to get some offense here in the 2nd half. As I stated before, the Pioneers didn't give up any points today, so a lot can happen as far as tiebreakers go. Handoff again up the middle to Brett Bowney, nowhere to go. Going to mark him, I think, for a 1-yard loss or no gain. Yeah, 1-yard loss on that play. 2nd and 11 for Fargo at the Minneapolis Warriors 47-yard line, trailing 28-6. Taylor leads the offense back for this next play with Jackson and Greenhill wide left. John Bowney wide right. 2 backs in the backfield flanking Taylor. Warriors bring the blitz. Taylor throws it out to John Bowney, makes an adjustment on the ball, makes a catch down the sidelines, taken down to the 15-yard line. 1st down, John Bowney making a play on that ball. No penalty flags. That's a 1st down for the Invaders inside the red zone for just the 2nd time today. As the PA announcers unfortunately said it was intercepted. It was not. So 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line for the Invaders. Nice pitch and catch by Taylor to John Bowney. Same formation one more time. Trevor Taylor takes the snap. Hand off to Brett Bounty, who's trying to get out wide right. Tries to turn the corner. Unfortunately, not enough blocking there. Someone is slowing him down and allowing the other defenders to get there in time to wrap him up and take him down for a loss. Loss of about 2 on that play. 10:19 to go, 28-6 your score. Fargo Invaders are trying to get back on the scoreboard again. Trevor Taylor takes the snap, looks to throw it. Sees he's got a man, Nick Jackson, caught and dies out of bounds. Caught about at the 9-yard line. Nice gain on the play there. So that'll bring up 3rd down. Ball spotted to 9, about 4 yards for the first down here. Not sure if this is a situation where the coaching staff will consider kicking a field goal, if they're going to leave the offense out there no matter what to try and get back into it in a 22-point deficit right now. 2 wide receivers left, 1 right, 2 backs in the backfield. About 3rd and 4. Taylor looks over the defense, calls out the play. Trying to draw the Warriors off sides, it looks like. Unfortunately, Brett Bounty moves in the backfield. Just that little step forward is all it takes to be called for a false start. So once again, penalties is something that the Invaders have had an issue with this season. That backs them up 5 yards. So we're looking at about a 3rd and 10. Back just inside the 15, so it's probably a long 9, a short 10. Still an area of the field where the team is probably still going to consider going for it on 4th down. Taylor takes the snap, looks to throw it to the right on the slant pattern. Got John Bounty inside the 5, still on his feet, falls forward. First down for the Fargo Invaders inside the 5-yard line. Nice throw to John Bounty on that slant pattern. Had his man sealed off, was able to zip it in there to him for a nice 10, maybe even 11-yard gain for our first down. 1st and goal for the Invaders at the 4-yard line of the Minneapolis Warriors. Knocking on the door, trying to get back into this game. Give themselves a chance to maybe come back and win the division. Need every possession to be productive. Brett Bounty gets the handoff up the middle, plows forward along with the offensive lineman. Pushes into the end zone. Touchdown, Fargo. You betcha. Brett Bounty. Run Brett Bounty up the middle, and a lot of times good things happen. He's a guy you want going north-south. You don't want him going sideline to sideline. So that gives the Fargo Invaders another touchdown, now trailing 28-12 with 8:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. Need another defensive stop to continue to get back into this game, which now is making that late touchdown in the 2nd quarter after that interception and long pass to take the score from 21-6 to 28-6. Now, timeout is called on the field by the Fargo Invaders. Some confusion as to the personnel as to whether or not they're going for 2 or kicking the extra point. Trying to get this back to a 2-score game.
Did we just take a timeout at 2-point conversion? Yes, you did. Oh, my God.
Confusion there as to what we're trying to run and what we're trying to do on the extra point. Appears as though the offense is on the field trying to go for 2 here to try and get this back to a 14-point game. It's always difficult chasing points, although at a 28-12 score, you still have the opportunity to score 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions to tie this game up. However, you'd rather be able to do kick the extra point in these situations, since we've got a pretty decent kicker in Lazante here. Although we've had some issues, missed a couple extra points against the Battle Creek Sting. So we got a bunch formation to the left with what looks like Austin Petron at tight end, Jay Greenhill and Micah Arnold wide left, Nick Jackson at tight end on the right, Brett Bowney behind Justin Telefaro, who is in the pistol formation. Defense all pushed up to the line of scrimmage. Play action to Brett Bowney, throws it out. Incomplete, one-handed catch by Jay Greenhill. Unfortunately, when he came down out of bounds. That's the problem with trying to chase those extra points on conversions, is because now you're in a situation where the next 2 touchdowns, you're going to have to go for those 2-point conversions to try and tie this game up. So with 8:51 to go in the third quarter, Fargo claws back a little bit closer into this game. 28-12 your score after some nice plays on that drive by John Bowney from Trevor Taylor on a couple big plays. Also aided on an encroachment on a 4th down. They gave a first down back to the Invaders. So for those keeping score at home on tiebreakers, the Warriors have now given up 64 points, given up 12 points today. And the St. Paul Pioneers came in today only giving up 68 total. So for the Pioneers, they're pulling for a Minneapolis Warriors win and an extra touchdown from the Fargo Invaders, so that way they clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Which, if that were to happen, that would set up a rematch next week with Fargo coming down here to Minneapolis again to play the Warriors. So that's still a lot to be sorted out. There's still plenty of time left for Fargo to get back in this game and possibly come back and try and win the game. Tahir set to kick this one off again. Looks like it's Mahmoud taking the ball inside the 5-yard line. Running to his right, looking for some blocks. Gets hit and taken down just outside the 20-yard line. See where they mark him down at. Looks like they mark him out maybe all the way out to the 25-yard line. Injured player down for the Fargo Invaders right now. Can't tell who that is. Looks like it's 29, which is that Weston? Yeah, Weston Lutz, number 29, looks to be the one shaking up on the field. As his teammates look him over. Another critical possession now for the Fargo Invaders defense. Another critical time to try and get a stop and get that ball back. Try and give their offense a chance to get the ball and score some points. Obviously, this Fargo Invaders defense is very capable of scoring points on their own. Currently have a 6-game streak of defensive touchdowns. Almost had another one today with that muffed punt and return by Joey Eggert. Unfortunately, he was taken down at about the 1-yard line. So that set up a Brett Bowney touchdown. So Brett Bowney's got 2 touchdowns today for Fargo as they trail 28-12, 8:44 to go in the third quarter. Scott leads the Warriors offense back out on the field. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left, 2 backs in the backfield, 1 right next to Scott, 1 behind him. Handoff to Martin. Looks like they got a big hole, and Stephen Othello makes the tackle. If he doesn't make that tackle, Martin is off to the races. That's enough for about 13 yards and a first down for the Warriors. So that's a first down out to the 38-yard line for the Warriors. And they themselves would not mind taking some time off this clock and getting the win here. A win for them means a home game in the playoffs one way or the other. Same formation, Scott in the backfield, this time the running back to his right. Handoff, Martin taken down and the hit in the backfield, still rumbles forward, stumbling, rumbling, and bumbling. Gets down to the 42-yard line, gain of about 4 on that play. Second down now. 2nd and 6 for the Warriors.
Second down and 6.
So another time when the Warriors get that running game going. Warriors started off today's scoring with a Arton Scott 55-yard touchdown run, followed it up by a Riza Mahmoud touchdown run of about 25 yards. Another handoff to Mahmoud this time. Some company in the backfield, and then finally taken down by out of bounds Jeremy Gordon. Big worm there on the tackle. Brings up 3rd down at about 5, maybe 6. Clock is running right now. Then after those 2 touchdowns, Telefaro tried to step up in the pocket and complete a pass downfield when he got hit as he was throwing it. Went right into the hands of number 96, Spencer Harris, who rumbled down the field but was tracked down by Brett Bounty, who punched the ball loose. Unfortunately for the Invaders, Ramon McNuckles was right there. Johnny on the spot picks the ball up and runs it in the end zone for a touchdown, 21-0. Then finally, after a muffed punt, the Invaders got it back 21-6. And then right before half, the Minneapolis Warriors, after interception, threw a big pass completion down the sideline. 2 plays later, scored a touchdown to go 28-6 at half. And now Brett Bonney scored another touchdown to give it to 28-12. Scott on the run, rolling to his right, tries to throw it out. He's got a man deep down the sidelines. Unfortunately, it's caught out of bounds. So that is 4th down now. Force Scott to move, but he's very comfortable rolling out and running with it. He had some pressure on him, forced him to roll out to the right. Looked downfield, had a man. Unfortunately, his momentum was kind of carrying him out of bounds. So when he threw it, the ball kind of trailed out of bounds as well. So that forces another punt by the Minneapolis Warriors. So we'll see what the Invaders can do. Josh Gatling is back deep at his own 15-yard line to return this. We'll see if the Invaders can get some pressure on it, maybe get another big play on a punt coverage. So a late addition on the field for the punt team for the Warriors. Snap, low snap. Mike Ford comes up with the ball at the 30-yard line. No penalties on the flag, or no penalty flags on the play, excuse me. Not no penalties on the flag. So the Fargo Invaders will start their next possession at their own 30-yard line, trailing 28-12 with 5:55 to go in the 3rd quarter. Another successful defensive series for the Fargo Invaders. We're able to only give up the 1 first down, but then get the ball back. Now they need to make another good drive here and get some offense going, get another score. Barbara A. Lehman Stadium in New Hope, Minnesota, home of the Minneapolis Warriors, taking on the Fargo Invaders today in the regular season finale of the Northern Elite Football League West Division. John Bounty wide right, 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 running backs in the backfield with Taylor. Looks to pass, swings it out to Brett Bounty, who's hit in the backfield, going to lose some yards. PA announcer calls it a screen pass, although it was more just a swing pass out of the backfield. So the Invaders go backwards on that play, loss of about 3 on that play, so 2nd and 13. So Taylor in the backfield with Jones and Brett Bounty. John Bounty, Kevin Irby, and Jay Greenhill. Looks to throw it, gets it out to Jay Greenhill. Does not come up with that one. Kind of some miscommunication there maybe. Or Greenhill expecting the defender there. He might have been hearing footsteps. It's always hard to concentrate on that play if you're concerned that as soon as you turn around there's going to be a defender there right in your face. So 3rd down and about 13 now. Invaders trying to keep this drive going here, past midway point of the 3rd quarter. Trevor Taylor takes the snap, fakes the draw, rolls to his right, throws it out, looking for John Bounty, overthrown, and that'll bring up 4th down. Looked like on that play there was a potential that he could have flipped it over the 2 defenders and got it to Brett Bounty for some room. got a little bit greedy there, tried to get that pass out to John Bounty for the first down. And unfortunately overthrew it. Incomplete, although if he underthrows it, you have more of a chance to the defense pick it off. So Tahir coming out to punt this one away with 5:08 remaining in the third quarter, 28-12 still to score. Mahmoud back to receive this one at his own 35. Tahir gets the snap, gets the kick, high kick, drives Mahmoud back to his own 26, 27-yard line, looking for, trying to avoid some defenders. He is eventually taken down by, looks like Tyler Jensen and Joey Eggert, along with John Bounty there. So it's first down for the Warriors at their own 38-yard line, where they'll start their next possession. 4:55 to go in the third quarter. Don't forget, folks, go to FargoInvaders.com where you get all the latest updates on your Fargo Invaders. In addition to, on the right-hand side of that webpage, you can see all of our wonderful sponsors that we have that help bring this team and this coverage to you across the Red River Valley. Once again, our sponsors: Wild Bill's Sports Saloon, Fargo Spine and Rehabilitation, Community Health Service Incorporated, Moorhead Massage and Wellness Center, Giga Green, Wear Repair, Sloan Athletics, TailgateMaster.com, Bell State Bank and Trust, Ken's FM 89.1, Equity Home Federal Group. A couple others I will get to mention next time. Scott takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his right. Pressure in the backfield. Scott steps up, still running. Gets a gain of about 5. Kind of makes a play out of nothing there. Looked like Vinny Holmes was a bit shaken up there. He's up and he's okay, although he might come out here playing. So second down for the Warriors. They're more than comfortable letting precious time come off the clock, especially if the Invaders aren't able to score any more points. If the Invaders score another touchdown, then the tiebreaker goes to the St. Paul Pioneers. Two wide receivers to the right, one to the left, two backs in the backfield, one flanking Scott in the backfield. Benson Manetto. Martin up the middle, running hard, falls forward, still going. Enough for another first down. Nice run by Martin up the middle. It looks like the Invaders had him kind of wrapped up and looking like they were going to bring him down at about the 45-yard line to bring up a third down. Unfortunately, he kept moving forward along with that offensive lineman, maybe giving him a push. Finally taken down at the 49-yard line, enough for a Minneapolis Warriors first down. .310 and counting, 28-12. Invaders still trying to dig themselves out of their early game hole. Not sure what the Warriors are doing. They call timeout, their first timeout of the second half. So with 2:58 to go in the third quarter, the Minneapolis Warriors leading 28-12. 2:58 to go. I probably already said that. That's all right. So in addition to our last sponsor, Mission Freedom Equity Group, there's also H&I Nutrition, Discovery Benefits, Meats by John and Wayne, Fargo Visitors and Convention Bureau, and of course, Min Dakota Coaches. And like I said, folks, go out and check out our webpage at FargoInvaders.org. Get all the latest information there. Find out what's going on with your Fargo Invaders. Be able to catch up on the coaches show Inside the Invaders, where we try to get that updated as frequently as possible. But a lot of us, just as the players do, we've got outside jobs going on, normal life 9 to 5, and family time. So sometimes it's not always easy to get that stuff up and updated in a timely manner. But we're trying our best, trying to add some new things, some new wrinkles to the website and to the media team. As I said today, we're using a different camera and a different setup for our broadcast. Hopefully next time we'll go directly to Facebook Live. But today it's on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel. That's another place you can find our videos. So if you're here watching the game on YouTube, on the Fargo Invaders channel, you'll be able to also find our other videos and player interviews that we've done over the season. So Scott in the backfield with 1 running back, 3 wide receivers left and 1 to the right. Scott looks to pass, looking to his right, throws it back out to the left on a screen pass, overthrows him, incomplete. So that sets up 2nd and 10 now from the 49-yard line. Nice play by the defense there to make sure that they were where they needed to be. Forced Scott into a little bit of a bad throw there, overthrew his running back. So 2nd and 10 for the Warriors at their own 49-yard line. We know the playoff teams in the West Division, we're still looking at seeding. And if Minneapolis holds on to win this game, the top 3 teams in this West Division will have all split with the home team winning every single game. No road victories in any of these. 2 wide receivers to the right and the left. Martin in the backfield with Scott. Scott looks to throw it. He's going to run to his right. A lot of room off to the right. Gets out down to the 40, down to the 35, and out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. Enough for another Minneapolis Warriors first down. Scott on that play looked to throw, saw all that open area to his right-hand side of the line. Just took off and ran it, took what he could. Gain of about 16 yards on that play. Ayrton Scott, a different quarterback than Tim Bona, the quarterback that the Invaders faced at the beginning of the season in Fargo. Unfortunately, Tim Bona was unable to continue on this season after suffering a concussion. And just as our own Samuel Highland, too many concussions in his football playing career forced that to kind of come to an end. And it looks to be there's a false start or encroachment. Oh, they're calling false start on the Minneapolis Warriors. That'll back them up 5 yards. So 1st and 15 now for the Minneapolis Warriors at the Fargo Invaders 37-yard line is where they're going to spot it, I believe. Still, once again, Minneapolis probably pretty content to take as much time off this clock and not give up any more scores in this game to the Invaders to try and secure that top seed in the playoffs. But anything can happen in this game. A couple big plays by the Invaders could potentially tie it up, and then who knows what's going to happen. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left, 2 backs in the backfield. It's staggered I formation. Handoff, bobbled to snap. Mahmoud gets it, tries to turn the corner, taken out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. So gain of about 8 on that play. Nice running play there by the Warriors to keep moving the ball forward. So ball spotted at the Fargo Invaders 29-yard line. First down, I believe, was marked down at about the 22, 23-yard line. So 2nd down for the Warriors. Minute 25 to go, 28-12 your score. One wide receiver each side, 2 backs in the backfield with Scott tight end to the right. Scott takes the snap, handoff to Martin. Breaks a tackle, makes a move, makes another man miss. Still going, ball's loose, fumbled. And the ball is recovered by the Fargo Invaders, I believe, as they umpile the mess. The ball was loose, and the ball is the Fargo Invaders. I think Jeremy Gordon was in on that strip. Not sure who came up with the ball on the bottom of that pile. Regardless, it's Fargo Invaders' ball, first down. Big play there for the Invaders. 1 minute remaining in the 3rd quarter, trailing 28-12, force a turnover. I believe that's the Warriors' 2nd turnover today. Sets them up 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line, just on the other side of the 25. Not quite far enough for me to say it's the 26. Trevor Taylor comes back outside, back out on the field to lead the Fargo Invaders offense once again. Derek Alexander gets onto the field late. Micah Arnold Kevin Irby and Nick Jackson wide left. Mike Arnold goes in motion. Ghost formation. Some confusion on the Fargo Invaders sidelines. 5 wide receivers and penalty flag for delay of game. Confusion on the offense. They're trying to figure out what personnel and what formation they're running. So, 1st and 15 now from their own about 21-yard line. So as we try and get a play off here, Bill Craig comes onto the field. He's wide to the right along with John Bowney and Micah Arnold. Kevin Irby and Nick Jackson wide to the left. Trevor Taylor in the backfield by himself. Pressure comes. Taylor steps up and he's taken down. Ooh, that looked a bit of a late hit by number 99, Kirk Eggleston. Landed on top of him after already being taken down at the 11 or maybe the 12-yard line. Invaders in a tough situation there. When you put 5 wide receivers out like that, you don't have any extra personnel on the backfield to help pass block. So now after a 5-yard penalty for delay of game and now a sack, the Invaders are backed up all the way to about the 12-yard line. Going backwards, first down is all the way out at the 31-yard line, so about 2nd and 19. 2 backs in the backfield along with 3 wide receivers, 2 left, 1 right. Taylor takes the snap, looks to throw, gets the pass popped up in the air. Intended for Kevin Irby. Ball got popped up in the air. He did not know where it went. If he would have known where it was, it could have came down right back into his hands. Unfortunately, ball hits harmlessly on the ground for the Minneapolis Warriors. 3rd and long now for the Fargo Invaders. 7.8 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. This will probably do it for the 3rd quarter. Irby and John Bowney wide to the left. Derek Alexander in the backfield, now with Brandon Jones and Nick Jackson wide to the right. Taylor looks to throw, throws it out. Caught by John Bowney. Unfortunately, it's short of the first down. Gets it back to about the original line of scrimmage. A couple yards short of that, so that'll bring up 4th and about 11 for the Fargo Invaders, but that is the end of the 4th quarter. At the end of the 4th quarter, your score, Minneapolis Warriors 28, Fargo Invaders 12, with 15 minutes remaining. You're listening to Fargo Invaders football on the Fargo Invaders Radio and Entertainment Network on their YouTube channel. Like, click, and subscribe today. So 1 quarter left. 16-point deficit for the Invaders. Still trying to hang around, get back into this game. Trying to make something happen here as we get in the late stages of the game. So as we get set, we change directions. 4th down for the Invaders. Probably going to have to be set to punt this one away back to the Warriors. Too deep a field position, being a difficult situation to try and run a fake or go for it here. Still plenty of time left. Defense needs to come back out, force a 3 and out, get that ball back, give the offense a chance to get something going. Need to get the ball back with good field position. That is critically important right now. So as we head to the 4th quarter here at Barbara A. Lehman Stadium in New Hope, Minnesota, home of the Robsdale Cooper Hawks. We get set for 4th quarter action. So here we go. Lazan Tahir on to punt this one away. Looks like Mahmoud is back deep to return this one. Tahir standing at his own 10-yard line. Bad snap, but he's able to catch it. There was no pressure. Kicks this one away. Deep kick. Floating down. Fair catch signaled by Mahmoud at the 38-yard line. So that sets the Warriors up with decent field position to start. Fargo, in a critical situation, needs to get a stop, preferably a turnover or some other type of big play to put them in a position to get back within 1 score. Don't forget Tailgate Master, folks. TailgateMaster.com. Check out his line of spices and rubs for your next barbecue. Also, if you go to our Fargo Invaders website, I believe there's a link so you can order your own Fargo Invaders gear. You could wear that gear over to Wild Bill's Sports Saloon. Enjoy some nice ribs and a nice cold adult beverage there. Or maybe some wings. I formation now for the Minneapolis Warriors to get this fourth quarter going. Scott looks over the defense. 3 wide receivers, 2 right, 1 left. Hands the ball off. Martin still going, breaking tackles. Josh Gatling holding on for dear life there. Brings him down at the Fargo Invaders 37-yard line. Scott with the handoff to Martin. Runs over that left-hand side, squeaks through a small opening, and then makes some people miss. And gets all the way out there.
My phone was ringing.
Oh, yours was? Michael's getting calls while he's trying to videotape, so that's always good. I formation again. Scott taking his time looking over this Invaders defense. Scott, as starting quarterback, has not lost a game for the Warriors. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Handoff up the middle once again. Mahmoud on the carry. Dives forward for about a yard gain. 2nd down and 9 for the Warriors at the Fargo Invaders 35-yard line. That might have been a gain of 2 possibly. 13:32 to go and counting in this fourth quarter. 28-12 your score. Fargo Invaders trying to get a stop here, get the ball back. Really need to get this ball back and then get something going. And need to get some more points on the board quickly. Scott looks over the defense, takes the snap, handoff to Mahmoud, tackled in the backfield by Joey Eggert. I think he was also helped out by Anthony Antonio, who originally got in the backfield first.
Matthew just messaged us.
One only Matt Franco's on the line, I guess. It's not connecting.
How part of it is? He said it's connected. The device is connected, he says, but he's not. So we'll just have to go back in the settings.
Probably. So 3rd and 10 now for the Warriors. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. 2 backs in the backfield with Scott. See if they want to try and pass this ball. 12:16 to go in the fourth quarter. Handoff to Mahmoud. That's Martin makes a move out to the right-hand side, tries to get the first down. He's still out down the sidelines, not marked out of bounds. Goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Some more confusion on the play there. Invaders thought they had him sealed up and down and forced out of bounds. However, the referees did not blow the whistle. He kept on going. Got through there. And scores another Minneapolis Warriors touchdown to go up 34-12. So now it's 34-12, which is really probably the backbreaker there for the Invaders. Already trailing by 16 going to that last play. So Ostertag back out to attempt the extra point here. Snap is high, set, kick. Still managed to get it through. So your score is 35-12 with 12:03 remaining in the fourth quarter. That might be the one to end this one for the Fargo Invaders. Down by 23 points with only 12:03 to go. It looked like they had Martin sealed up. They had some pressure there in the backfield to try and wrap him up. He got out of that, had some green. It looked like he had enough room to get to that first down, get to the corner, maybe go out of bounds. He decided to stay in bounds. kept on going and then broke a tackle and just went down the sidelines for another Minneapolis Warriors touchdown. A little bit disappointing on this road trip down here to New Hope, Minnesota for the Invaders, who had high hopes to try and wrap up a division title and secure first place in the division and get home field advantage. Now it looks like it's going to come down to whether or not the Minneapolis Warriors can hold the Fargo Invaders out of the end zone and maintain that tiebreaker win to get the top seed themselves. As I said, going into today, the Pioneers, based on tiebreaker, had given up 68 points, and the Warriors had given up 52, a 16-point difference. Pioneers gave up no points today, and the Warriors have given up 12. Come on, Brandon. Brandon fumbles the ball into the end zone, has to bring it out now. Makes a move, and it's taken down outside, just outside the 5-yard line. Muffed that return there. So that's going to set the Fargo Invaders up deep in their own end zone, deep in their own end. 11:52 to go. Score is 35-12. Minneapolis over Fargo. So we'll wait and see what the Fargo Invaders can do on this drive. 95 yards away from another score. We'll see what they can do. Just marked out just outside the 5 at the 6-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Fargo Invaders at their own 6-yard line. Offense has been a bit inconsistent. Still trying to make some things happen. Telefaro back in at quarterback. Handoff to Brett Bonney, tries to turn the corner. Cuts it back up inside a bit. Plows forward out to about the 12, maybe 13-yard line. Gain of about 6 or 7 on that play. So nice gain there as Brett Bonney rushed to his left and then cut back a little bit, cut it upfield, got what he could. Gain of 6 on that play. 11:27 and counting. As we are here in New Hope, Minnesota. Telefaro looking over the defense. 2 wide receivers right, 2 wide receivers left. Looks to throw it out quickly. Gets it out to, I believe that's Nick Jackson on the reception there. I'm not sure where they're going to mark that. It's close to a first down. And it is enough for a first down. They marked it at about the 17-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Invaders. 10:48 to go in the 4th quarter. $35-12 is your score. Live on the Fargo Invaders YouTube channel today. 2 wide receivers left and right. Brett Bonney in the backfield. Telefaro tries to throw it out to Kevin Irby. It's complete. Pushed out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Catch and gain of about 8 on that. So that'll stop the clock momentarily. Remember, next week, folks, if Minneapolis holds on to win this game, you'll have another game for your Fargo Invaders. Justin Telefaro, along with Brett Bonney in the backfield. John Bonney, Jay Greenhill wide left. Nick Jackson and Kevin Irby wide right. Telefaro throws it tipped. Looking for Jay Greenhill on a quick little out route there. Defensive lineman got his hand up, knocked that ball down. $9:58 to go in the 4th quarter. Same formation, 2 wide receivers right, 2 left. 1 back in the backfield along with Telefaro. 3rd and about 4. It seemed like it was 3rd and about 2 a minute ago. Snap, draw play up the middle to Brett Bonney. Breaks the tackle up the middle, keeps on going. He's got 1 man to beat. Can he beat him? Dive, tackled, and taken down at the 20-yard line. Nice run right up the middle by Brett Bowney. Gets the Invaders inside the red zone one more time. 9:40 and counting. Fargo Invaders are going to need to score and score in a hurry if they want to try and come back and win this one. This time, Irby is wide right. Brett Bowney and Brandon Jones in the backfield together. John Bowney and Jay Greenhill wide to the left. Jay Greenhill goes in motion to the right. Penalty flag. False start on the Invaders. Not sure who that one was on. .905 left in the game. $35-12 your score. Two wide receivers right, one to the left. Two backs in the backfield with Telefaro. Looks over the defense, takes the snap, throws out to right to Brandon Jones, who makes stops, makes the guy miss, changes direction. Fortunately, nowhere to go. Right in the backfield there was either Kirk Eggleston or Spencer Harris. It's hard to see if that's 96 or 99 down there. No, it is Engelstead. He's got his jersey pulled up halfway, so it's hard to see his number. .816 and counting. 35-12 your score. Second down at about 16 now. Lost about one on that last play. Telefaro looks to throw it out. Throws it deep, intended for John Bowney. Oh, incomplete. Broken up by Ramon McNuckles on that play. Unless that, oh, I'm sorry, that was Miller. It's hard to tell. Patrick Miller on the defense there. Jumped up, got a hand on that, knocked it away from John Bowney there. So third and about 16 here from the Minneapolis Warriors 27-yard line. 35-12 your score. Telefaro looks to throw. Throws it out. Got a man, Nick Jackson, caught inside the 10-yard line. Enough for a first down. Down to about the 7-yard line. Injured player on the field for the Minneapolis Warriors. Looks to be number 79, Willie Staple III. We'll take a minute here and let him see if he's okay. So 35-12 your score. Fargo trails the Minneapolis Warriors with 7:39 to go. Quick recap of the scores. Rush by Scott for the opening touchdown for the Warriors. Another touchdown by Mahmoud, up 14-0. Then a defensive touchdown by McNuckles to go 21-0. Then after a muff punt, Invaders got on the board with a 1-yard Brett Bowney touchdown run, put it at 21-6. And then right before halftime, I believe Tyrell Martin got a touchdown run there up the middle, up 28-6. And then Brett Bowney got the Invaders back on the board for the first score of the second half with another touchdown run. And then Tyrell Martin broke a couple tackles down the sideline, got the probably game-clinching touchdown to go up 35-12, and that's your score right now, 35-12, Fargo trails. Two running backs in the backfield, Alexander and Brett Bowney. Telefaro gets the ball, is going to throw it out. Rush to throw, picked off. No one's going to touch him. Derek Alexander trying to make chase to try and track him down. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Warriors. That puts the score and the game out of reach by all intents and purposes. 41-12 your score. Minneapolis leads the Fargo Invaders. That is probably the 5th turnover today. A pick 6 right there. Under pressure, Telefaro throws it out. Picked off. Picked up some blocking and down the sideline he went. I believe that was McNuckles, maybe with another touchdown today. Penalty flag on the field. A couple penalty flags on the field. We'll wait and see what this is. I believe it's after the game. Probably too many people on the field celebrating that touchdown is my guess. Not sure. It's all cosmetic at this point. Delay of game on the Invaders, I guess. Not exactly sure what the call was for there. After that touchdown play, it looked to be there was a... He called the delay of game symbol, though. Oh. Unsportsmanlike conduct on number 73, which is center Tyler Johnson. Or Jensen, excuse me. Johnson, I'm sorry. On to the attempted extra point. Bad snap. Tries to get the kick off. Still got it up. And the kick is good. Interesting day on the snaps today for the Minneapolis Warriors on special teams. It's only cost them 1 on a punt. 42-12 your score. As I said before, the odds of a Fargo Invaders victory right now are slim and none, and Slim just left town. However, tiebreaker is simply points against, not point differential, but points against. So if the Fargo Invaders score, they will be traveling to Minneapolis, or right here to New Hope, Minnesota, to play the Minneapolis Warriors. However, if they are unable to score, they'll head to St. Paul, Minnesota to take on the Pioneers at Concordia University. So that penalty will be marked off on the kickoff. So instead of kicking off from the 35, they'll be kicking off from the 50-yard line to the Fargo Invaders. So we'll see what the Fargo Invaders do with this last series, or not this last series, this next series, as they trail 42-12. Two defensive touchdowns today for the Minneapolis Warriors. A couple other turnovers have set them up for some big plays themselves. Clifton. That one looks to be kicked off to, that kickoff was by Benson Meneto. Kicks that one out of the back of the end zone. So the Fargo Invaders will start 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. So we'll see what the Fargo Invaders can do here. Trailing 42-12. Question can become then, what do the Fargo Invaders want to do? If they score a touchdown, they would travel back here to face the Warriors again in back-to-back weeks, giving the top seed to the St. Paul Pioneers, who will have home field advantage for that divisional championship game. And if they don't score, they'll head to St. Paul next weekend to take on the Pioneers. So we'll wait and see how this game plays out. All comes down to what the Invaders can do on offense the rest of the game, or maybe a defensive score for that matter. Handoff to Brett Bowney, who's plowing over the right-hand side. Finally, kind of breaks loose there and falls down at about the 29. So 2nd and 7. As I had talked with Minneapolis Warriors founder and president at the halftime, tiebreaker is simply points against. No point differentials or anything like that. So any additional score by the Warriors, unfortunately, doesn't do them any good. because the only thing that matters is keeping the Fargo Invaders out of the end zone. Trevor Taylor in with 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs. Handoff in the backfield to Brandon Jones. Nowhere to go, taken down for a loss back at the 25-yard line. Loss of about 3 after that initial gain by Brett Bowney on the previous play. So 3rd and 10 for the Invaders.
Runners get tackled for a loss. 3rd down and 10.
So 3rd and 10, clock running, 6:02 and counting. 42-12 your score. Trevor Taylor still out with the offense. Brett Bowney and Kevin Irby line up wide to the right. Ken Ben Parker and John Bowney wide left. Taylor in the backfield with Jones. Draw play up the middle to Brandon Jones. Breaks the tackle, falls forward, out to the 30-yard line, bring up 4th and 5 from their own 30-yard line. Lazan Tahir trots out to kick this one away. A rough day for the Invaders. Similar situation in a sense to the game in St. Paul. Mistakes early cost them, put them in a deep hole. Some broken tackles and some big runs by Scott and Mahmoud. In addition to Tyrell Martin, all rushing for touchdowns today, along with a couple defensive touchdowns. Timeout called by the Warriors on this 4th down, trying to make sure their personnel is correct. I believe that might be their 2nd timeout. So once again, you're listening to and watching, I should also point that out, you're watching the Fargo Invaders on the Fargo Invaders Radio and Entertainment Network on YouTube. Check out our sponsors: Wild Bill Sports Saloon, Fargo Spine and Rehabilitation, Community Health Service Incorporated, Moorhead Massage and Wellness Center, Giga Green, Ware Repair, Sloan Athletics, TailgateMaster.com, Bell State Bank and Trust, Ken's FM 89.1, KNNZ FM, Freedom Equity Group, H&I Nutrition, Discovery Benefits, Meats by John and Wayne, and of course the Fargo Visitor and Conventions Bureau, and of course Min Dakota Coaches. So next week, game time is still yet to be determined. It is still determining the opponent based on how this game finishes out. But the Fargo Invaders will be traveling to either New Hope, Minnesota or St. Paul, Minnesota to take on either the Warriors or the Pioneers in the West Division opening round playoff game. Ball comes down, hits, takes a bit of a Fargo Invaders roll. Picked up right to the number 26 down the sidelines. Tahir tries to make the tackle, and he is down. Oh, they call him in. Ball bounced, initially took a Fargo Invaders bounce as it was kind of going back, but it bounced right over to Patrick Miller, who scoops it up, and there's nobody down the sideline. Tahir back there at the end trying to make the tackle at the goal line, did make contact and almost tackle him at the 1, but he got in. So 4.5 minutes to go in the game. Score now 48-12. Minneapolis Warriors all over the Fargo Invaders today. Kind of one of those days, folks. When it rains, it pours. John Ostertag will come back out to attempt to kick this extra point and remain perfect on the day on extra points. He's 6 for 6 so far today.
We're going to fix our mistakes and be ready for next week.
So as we said, we are still waiting to see how this game plays out. 1 touchdown and Fargo returns here next week, excuse me. If they do not score, they'll go to St. Paul. Snap, set, and the kick is up. And he remains perfect today. John Ostrag with 7 for 7 on extra points. So your score now, Minneapolis Warriors 49, the Fargo Invaders 12 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. So as we look forward to next week, Fargo Invaders had regained some momentum on the season after back-to-back losses. That loss in St. Paul followed up by a loss in South Sioux City against a highly ranked Sioux City Stampede. However, as I pointed out earlier in the season, only about half the team was able to make that trip due to injuries, due to other personal commitments in late June. So we made it through that game, or that two-game stretch. Had 2 games back-to-back at home, big wins against the Brawlers and the Sting, followed by a 2-week bye to get prepared for the St. Paul Pioneers, which the Fargo Invaders beat last week 14-0. And now they travel this week down here to New Hope, Minnesota to take on the Warriors. And unfortunately, their dream of winning the Western Division title have come to an end as they trail 49-12. A lot of mistakes today on both sides of the ball, but the coaching staff will have these guys attempting to fix those mistakes and be ready for next week no matter the opponent. Manitou kicks it off, taken by Brett Bowney. Almost tackled by his brother, John. Unfortunately, he didn't wrap up, so John Bowney does not get credit for the tackle. John Bowney takes it up to about the 25. Benson Manitou was on the kick again. Due to the score right now, clock will be running for the rest of the game, except for maybe timeouts. So as we wrap this one up, 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Fargo Invaders, trailing 49-12 today. Two wide receivers. Too late to call timeout. Too many men in the huddle. Some confusion there as to who's supposed to be out there. Unfortunately, did not get the timeout called. Called the penalty for too many men in the huddle. So we'll back up the Invaders 5 yards to their 21-yard line and attempt to run a play this time. Trying to get a couple people out there, a little bit of playing time here towards the end, a little bit more experience in case. Jones and Brett Bowney in the backfield. 3 wide receivers, handoff up the middle to Brett Bowney, running hard, running over people, taking about 3, 4, maybe 5 guys to bring him down. Gains what they lost on that play. So 2nd down, a gain of about 7 on that play. So 2nd down and 8. As I said, we see some of the backups there for the Invaders out on offense, especially at the wide receiver position. Taylor takes the ball, hands it off to Brett Bowney. Moves to his right, still not down yet. Unfortunately, got hit. Kind of stepped back, keeping his balance, keeping his feet, keeping up. And was not able to gain any yards on that play. So 3rd down now. Brett Bowney steps out, gets a break. So we wrap this game up now. Should be down to the 2-minute warning now. And that's it. 2 minutes remaining in the game. Minneapolis Warriors lead 49-12 over the Fargo Invaders. If this score remains, next week's game for the Fargo Invaders will be in St. Paul, Minnesota. Minneapolis would win the West Division on a tiebreaker. Want to point out that each team has won against the other in the top three teams in the Western Division. Each team is split. Every home team has won, so home field advantage was critical in this division. St. Paul probably looking at this game right now, hoping to see the Fargo Invaders sneak one more big play out there and get a touchdown and give them the West Division title. Taylor's still out there, 3 wide receivers, 2 left and 1 right, 2 running backs. Throws it out, intended for Bill Craig. Threw his hands off his shoulder pad, hits the dirt. So 4th down now. As I said, with the clock still running right now. Minute 45 and counting. So Lazonte here will come out one more time to punt this ball away. Last punt. Coverage got down the field. Unfortunately, the ball hit and bounced right over to Patrick Miller, who decided, hey, I'm going to take this one, see what I can do with it. Got a block and beat the kicker to the end zone for another touchdown to get it up to 49-12. Tahir gets the ball. No rush on the play. Punts it. No one back deep to return this one. Warriors are simply going to let this ball roll. John Bounty downs the ball at about the 32-yard line. So the Minneapolis Warriors should come out and have to snap the ball one time before the end of the game, and they can wrap up their Western Division Championship today here on their home field. Obviously a great run for the Minneapolis Warriors, winning their last 6, now 7 games, setting themselves up to host the Western Division Championship game versus the winner of Fargo and St. Paul in St. Paul next Saturday. Minneapolis also gets that much coveted bye week, a chance to rest and relax. Victory formation for the Warriors. They take the snap, Scott takes the knee, and that's going to do it. And that's going to be your final, folks. Minneapolis Warriors win this one, going away 49-12 against your Fargo Invaders. Fargo will travel next week to St. Paul to take on the St. Paul Pioneers, as Minneapolis will sit at home next week and wait for the winner to find out who they play. So once again, to wrap things up, Minneapolis got up early, 21-7. We're in control. Cruise to a win today against the Fargo Invaders, 49-12 your final. Next week we'll be in St. Paul, Minnesota. Time of game is not yet determined, but we will be broadcasting live from St. Paul. Last time our game in St. Paul was an evening game. We'll see if it's an evening or an afternoon game. But that'll be next weekend, July 29th in St. Paul, Minnesota. So Fargo Invader fans, if you are out in the city's area next week, can come by and watch us play against the St. Paul Pioneers. And if you're St. Paul Pioneers fans, obviously come out and support your team. And the Minneapolis Warriors fans, you guys can come out and check out the game as well. So that's all from here, folks, at Barbara A. Lehman Stadium. Until next time, if I can get myself on the camera, we will see you next time, folks. Yeah, you betcha. Bye.